The adult. What is it to be an adult? This is the $1 million question. In fact, all of us, we've been asking ourselves that at the beginning of this cycle of life, and mostly we have tried to follow some model, or unconsciously we've tried to be exactly the opposite, for instance, of our parents, to be a completely different character. But the focus was always on the outside. And if there is one thing which is so important for adulthood, is that it's not about imitation. It's not about copying. It's for sure being inspired, but not about copying. And there is a very simple description of that in transactional analysis. It just simply says the adult is the one that learns from life experiences. So the child that comes into life has to feel, to try out, to experiment. The teenager has to experiment actively in a big way. And the adult is really the one that has gathered enough experiences in life to learn from them, to create a map, his or her own map of the world. And that is a psychological description. But deeper than that, there is also something very spiritual in that, which is if you take life as something that you learn from, then there is no split between bad experiences and good experiences, things that you want to run away from and things that you run towards. Everything is welcome because everything is part of the learning, and that creates a maturity that enables a real adult to see all the circumstances of life as a learning ground and eventually as a field of gifts, of new experiences, of new understandings. So in that way, the adult doesn't react anymore, doesn't react, just learns from life with a fresh mind, following a certain path of unfoldment. Now there is a biological drive to this, like when you are a child wonder, for instance, it's a drive that moves you. When you're a teenager, your longing, your passion moves you. When you become an adult, what moves you is one of those words that have such a load around themselves, but it is ambition. Ambition is the beginning, let's say, the raw energy that moves an adult. And of course, ambition can be blind and can be heartless, and it's very well cultivated in the corporate world, in the outside world, and it's very judged in the spiritual world. But in fact, it's just a drive. It's just a drive that the adult needs to create his or her own life. But the difference is, if you're focused on the goal, if you're focused on the outside world with that ambition, then others become competitors, they become concurrents, or they become means to an end. There is something very harsh and very selfish in it. But at the same time, if you move with that energy inside yourself, ambition becomes just wanting. And wanting in itself is something very beautiful. It's something total. It's like a alchemical transformation of sexual passion that is so much in teenage. And that wanting is not so much focused on the goal as on a process of being present to whatever is happening. It's totality. It's the quintessence of adulthood is totality. It's total presence, total availability for learning, total availability for recognizing everything as a possible teaching, totality in going for what you want without getting lost in the result, but enjoying the process, enjoying the dance, enjoying the expression of yourself. So ambition is not anymore wanting to reach the top, it's just creative energy, manifesting energy that comes to the surface, and others are not competitors anymore. They are partners in the game. They are dance partners. They are people that you meet on the path with whom you can do things. But in itself, it's so fulfilling to be total. It's so fulfilling to follow your wanting. It's so fulfilling to be ambitious, but ambitious in the sense of, in Latin, ambire, it means just to deeply desire. And so deep desire, the real deep desire, is a state of being, of movement, of just going with life. And there's another thing that happens when you become an adult. Biologically, on a tribal level, you become a father, you become a mother. In this world, you don't necessarily need to become a father or a mother to connect with your fatherly energy or your motherly energy. And if you have been around kids, outer kids, you know that a father or a mother needs to be totally there, totally present, because your children, just like the children of your spirit, your creations, your work, your contribution to the world, require total attention. So you might become a father to real children, or you might become a father to something that you love and you want to bring into existence. But that's the underlying energy, that's the atmosphere of your creations. It's not anymore to shine above everybody, but it's to contribute, to put into a larger field, something that you recognize is precious. It's crystallized after all your experiences, and all those experiences are bringing you to this moment where you express your uniqueness. You're just yourself. So in fact, there's two main things that are really the gift of a true adulthood. One, the cream of it, is gratefulness. Gratefulness for all the experiences you lived, gratefulness for all the teachings that you received, gratefulness for your parents, gratefulness for your lineage, and gratefulness for life. And the other thing is power, the power to manifest, the power to be there with your creations, with your contributions. It doesn't matter whether it is cooking a meal or painting a masterpiece. The totality is where the reward is. So power and totality. And when you touch those spaces which you have certainly touched, it's such a feeling of integrity, such a feeling of being there, such a feeling that you have conquered your place in life, and that you're not comparing yourself to others, you're not trying to be like others, you're just honored to be able to share your gift and contribute to life.